Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Bible in the year 2021. We are on day 218, and we are reading through Zephaniah, which only has 3 chapters. So chapters 1, 2, and 3 today. So getting right to it. So as you read this, you've got to understand that all of creation is full of violence. Everything is working actually against the character of Yahweh. Although we can see him in creation, we can see some of his attributes in creation all around us. We can also see fallen humanity in creation all around us. So we read this in verses 2 and 3. I will wipe out everything from the earth, says the Lord. I will destroy humanity and the beasts. I will destroy the birds in the sky and the fish in the sea. I will make the wicked into a heap of ruins. I will eliminate humanity from the earth, says the Lord. And what we're referring to here is fallen humanity, the broken bits. So we also can see here in verse 4 that he's stamping out all the nations that have the Baal worship. He's getting rid of the Baal worship. I will stretch out my hand against Judah and against all the inhabitants of Jerusalem. I will eliminate what's left of Baal from this place, and it names the priests of foreign gods. Going on to verse 8, we can see that he's also going to make leaders accountable here. On the day of the Lord's sacrifice, I will punish the princes, the king's sons, and all those wearing foreign clothes. And then in verse 11 to 13, we see the business leaders are going to be held to account as well. So it's not just the politicians, but the business leaders. The ones who grind the grain will wail. All the merchants will be silenced. I will eliminate all those weighing out silver. At that time, I will search Jerusalem with lamps. I will punish the men growing fat on the sediment in their wine, those saying to themselves, the Lord won't do good or evil. Their wealth will be looted and their houses destroyed. They will rebuild houses, but not live in them. They will plant vineyards, but not drink the wine. So that's the short term, what is about to hit the city. And then in chapter 2, verse 3, we get this. The believers, the true believers must renew themselves. So those who have been holding to Yahweh, now is the time for them to renew themselves. Seek the Lord, all you humble of the land who practice his justice. Seek righteousness, seek humility. Maybe you will be hidden on the day of the Lord's anger. So you see that 3 things there that he considers, 3 that he considers cornerstones here: justice, righteousness, and humility. It's something to keep in mind, especially in this age where we see such pride and arrogance in so many believers. Then verse 9, we see his promised revenge on the nations. Therefore, as I live, says the Lord of heavenly forces, the God of Israel, Moab will become like Sodom, and the Ammonites like Gomorrah, a plot of weeds, salt pits, and devastation forever. The few remaining for my people will plunder them. The rest of my nation will possess them. Because those nations went overboard. We keep mentioning this. And then we see in chapter 3, just a reminder again, how Jerusalem got to this state. Doom, obstinate one, the defiled one, the violent city. She listened to no voice. She accepted no discipline. She didn't trust in the Lord, nor did she draw near to her God. So again, there are many points that Israel could have just turned back to Yahweh, and he would have covered them. But they've gone to that point of no return now. And in verse 5, just remember, he is the source of righteousness. The Lord is righteous in her midst. He does nothing unjust. Morning by morning, he renders justice, but the unrighteous one knows no shame. And of course, those who do not know, have not tasted of his righteousness, would never understand that his righteousness is the measuring rod. And those who do not walk in that righteous, who do not understand that righteous, come up with their own things, do what they think is best. And that's where a lot of people are right now, doing what they think is best. And then look at this in verse 7. It's just crazy. I said, surely she will fear me. She will take instruction so that her habitation won't be cut off because of everything I did to her. However, they rose early to corrupt their deeds. So no matter what correction the Lord brought, it was just totally ignored, excused away, and they did what they wanted. And then we have this promise about the remnant in verse 13. The few remaining from Israel won't commit injustice. They won't tell lies. A deceitful tongue won't be found on their lips. They will graze and lie down. No one will make them afraid. Of those, those are those who continue to walk in his righteousness. And in verse 15, we just see the promise of redemption here, of the redeemed. The Lord has removed your judgment. He has turned away your enemy. The Lord, the King of Israel, is in your midst. You will no longer fear evil. And the promise of renewed relationship. The Lord your God is in your midst, a warrior bringing victory. He will create calm with his love. He will rejoice over you with singing. And then in verse 20, we have the great promise. At that time, I will bring all of you back. At the time when I gather you, I will give you fame and praise among all the neighboring peoples when I restore your possessions, and you can see them, says the Lord. Yeah. So simple prophecies there. A lot of it is just confirmation of what we already have heard from the other prophets, but it's important to understand that the Lord brought this message in for different voices, maybe worded a little different, but all from that same source. And it was to let them know what was going to happen, but yet give them hope of what he would do after their time away. So you guys have a blessed day and enjoy the Lord today, and we will catch up with each other tomorrow. God bless.